How's it going out there, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits. Today we're going to check out this compact VHS JVC VHSC, actually, the miniature version of VHS digital signal processing with a 300 times zoom, and it doesn't have a very bad optic zoom, or at least I believe it's got a good optic zoom. Lens cover on this thing is back and forth. I think that's a place you can use to send IR signals if you have the remote. I do not. We get the volume and the zoom up here. Battery pack right here. I don't like the battery packs there because, man, it gets hard to put your hand around there. But geez, this is some old technology. This is definitely some old technology. I should look up the year on this thing. Anyways, we get the viewfinder. Right under the viewfinder we have the business section, and then right down here we have, let's turn this thing on, turn it on, we have the rewind, the stop. Interesting place to put them. Usually they just put them along here or on there, but this is a slightly older version, VHSC. I'm pretty sure VHSC competed with High 8. So the digital zoom on this thing ain't so bad. It's nothing to scoff at. There's something really interesting about VHS. It puts a blur on everything that Instagram models do to their face, so that you don't notice any of the blemishes. It makes things look better than they actually were. Now, whenever I see this blur, it makes me think of two things. It makes me think of something somebody said in Hollywood. Any day in Hollywood is better than a day anywhere else. And at the same time, it makes me think of another story. Back in the 80s and early 90s, drug users would say, "Oh, it made everything feel like it was in the movies." And I think it made them feel that way because there's a blur on everything and everything bled a little bit of light. Now this is my daughter running around with the camera. She's learning how to use it, and she's about to take it out for an adventure. But yeah, the digital zoom. I could not get this kind of zoom if I used an iPhone. It just wouldn't do it. You get your digital zoom, but the optical zoom. This thing's 20 years old, and it still has some nicer features than the iPhone. This is my daughter running around with it. I think she's about to drop it. Now, when I was her age, I couldn't even imagine. Could not even imagine running around with something like this. And these days, oh, she's about to drop it. I could not even imagine running around with a piece of equipment that old. And these days, you could hardly even sell it to anyone unless you just wanted to back up digital information. Yeah, so I got this sucker for about $2.50 at a secondhand store. There was a video on it. There was one video with it. It seemed to come from a Jewish family. And while this was somewhat of a cheaper camera, JVC, which is the Japanese RCA, RCA is basically a Japanese version. This is a cheaper version, but they had a cheap camera that they took more video of more important things with. But usually when I get a camera and there's video on it, it's just something like someone running a horse around in a circle or doing something that's just like, let's take video of this. But that's just how she goes, I guess. Interesting little unit. Interesting how everything's on the back here. And the speaker's on the back too. Interesting, I still get charged from the battery. 20 years. Good stuff. Anyways, that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Nev from Nev's Tech Bits. Like and subscribe if you like the stuff. Always appreciate it. And catch you later.
Here it is. This is a fusion bar. Can I see the fusion bar in the picture?